everybody and do it in a systematic manner, you will actually end up losing out on, there will be unnecessary delays in the product, there will be crippled architecture, and finally your product will not take off or fly. So what does, so given all of this, why do you have to do it in the first place? At times it is because you're being audited. People say that, okay, let me create a reference architecture for my practice, and people can pretty well understand what is happening for everybody to see. It's a visual representation of what is going on in your organization. And some at times, even if that's not the case, there are instances wherein company starts losing market share. The company which is in the top quadrant of the Forrester charts comes down from the visionary, it comes to the leader or the follower stage. So people think, okay, what is that I'm not doing it correctly? So what are the best practices I'm missing on? So when you actually analyze all of these deep down, you can pretty much rectify most of it using industry best practices and framework level knowledge, and how do you do efficient and better product management. So these are some of the reasons why people actually end up doing it. So we can pretty much correlate this in our work scenarios. There was a simple application, let us say 5 to 10 years ago, which was an on-premise model. Now it's become enterprise scale, running in multiple geographies, multiple languages, across a cloud as well as an on-premise stack, with multiple tenancy enabled, with a whole lot of caching solutions, distributed computing best practices involved. So unless you are managing your product management in a nice and efficient manner, obviously whatever efforts were required to run a small application which is an on-premise model to an enterprise, the scale and effort and the complexity and the best practices knowledge levels are not the same. So you need a different set of understanding as to what can really be required to manage such a big mammoth level product or solution. So this is common experience, like the team is very efficient, they're agile in fixing a small application when it remains small, but when it changes hands and becomes large, then there is effort to make sure it doesn't end up being monolithic, it doesn't end up, it loses its customization flavor. Every time you need to make a small patch for a particular customer, you end up changing a lot of code all along the way. Your patch management, your make file system, your deployment series, all of this actually becomes quite complex to handle. So how do you actually make an elephant dance is the next question. So because when it remains a tiny, agile, nimble, it's easy for people to dance, but when you become the size of an elephant, how do you retain your market share? How do you make sure that you actually are able to add value to your customers and keeping your cost of your product or solution viable, and how do you reduce the cost of ownership to the customer and still deliver value? So all of these are things